Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Garcia. I am a journalist, a weekend anchor, and consumer reporter with Fox 25 News. And I want to thank everyone for joining us and supporting our back to school virtual event and for investing time in learning more about the mission of the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education to improve financial literacy and economic education in our state. Now, there may not be a more important time to support the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. The council has continued to do work in our communities throughout the COVID-19 pandemic to meet the changing needs of our teachers, of our students, and our parents as well. It is easy to give. Please review the raffle items that are linked below and the link to make a general donation as well. All those dollars will go directly to supporting the mission of improving financial literacy and economic education in Oklahoma. Now, if you wish to make a donation after today's event, lucky for you, it is very easy to do that. You can just go straight to their website. Now, we would normally be having this conversation in person, enjoying a wonderful lunch, but because of the continued COVID-19 pandemic, the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education staff and board members are joining you live virtually in the chat below to answer any questions that you may have. This, of course, is in an effort to remain respectful of the continued pandemic, and we choose to hold this event virtually again this year. I want to thank you so much for your support, the continued support that you've had with the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education this past year. As things are starting to get a bit back to normal, we are so pleased to have your support. You are our community. So please enjoy today's virtual event as we hear about the incredible work that the council has been doing by those who have been impacted.
Thank you, Maria. I'm Amy Lee, Executive Director of the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. Welcome everyone to the 2021 Back to School with Financial Literacy virtual fundraising event. We are excited to have you all join and appreciate your support. There are many to thank for bringing this all together. We are continuing to be flexible to the changing ways events are done in 2021, and several people work diligently to bring today's event to life. First, I'd like to thank Melissa Neal, our remarkable chair of the 2021 Back to School with Financial Literacy event. Events like this have so many moving parts and hurdles to overcome in order to bring our mission of promoting personal finance and economic education in Oklahoma to the forefront. Melissa and the Back to School Committee, along with our development manager, Sarah Watson, work creatively and thoroughly to plan and fundraise, and I'm so thankful for their hard work. I'd also like to thank Maria Garcia for supporting us and bringing her talents to help with our event. Maria is a consistent and reliable partner to me and our organization. I'm so thankful to have someone like her on our side. She's fun to work with, and her enthusiasm always adds something extra to our projects. Thank you, Maria. I'd also like to thank our sponsors for this event. Without their support, this event would not be possible. These sponsors, who continue to invest in improving economic and financial literacy education in Oklahoma schools, are true game changers. Our work is so important, and their support helps us reach more teachers and students in Oklahoma as we continue our mission and meet the needs of those we serve. Now more than ever, we have seen the cost of financial illiteracy to our communities, state, and nation. When young people have the knowledge to achieve their dreams, it helps us grow our economy and gives us all a better future. There is urgency to promote financial and economic education in Oklahoma. This virtual event gives us an opportunity to bring awareness to OCE's mission and the need for promoting financial literacy and economic education in our state. We have seen in the last 18 months that many money problems Oklahomans faced could have been avoided with more robust financial education. We know that when effective financial education is in place with trained educators, we see positive changes in financial behavior and choices. This knowledge builds a foundation for students to build strong money habits early and avoid money mistakes that lead to financial distress. Throughout the last year and a half, we've continued to work closely with Oklahoma teachers. Our work has not slowed down. In fact, it has significantly increased while also adapting to our ever-changing times. By supporting this event, you are helping the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education provide K-12 teachers and materials and training they need to integrate real-life economics into the classroom. OCE's predominant mission is to help Oklahoma students gain a real-world understanding of economics and personal finance so they can make better decisions and compete and succeed in a global economy. We do this by providing professional development to teachers, resources to teachers and student programming. We have a unique situation in our state. We are one of 6 states that does not require our young people to graduate with an economics course. Think about how this sets our students from our state back and impacts our state's future. There are generational socioeconomic setbacks in our state that we are tackling head on. Did you know that 51% of families lack any type of emergency savings? Further, 78% of adults live paycheck to paycheck. Various studies show that personal finance and economic education in our classrooms results in a better understanding of the U.S. and world economy, a greater propensity to save for retirement, reduced amount of personal debt, increased likelihood of having emergency savings, less likelihood of using high-cost methods of borrowing. Today, we get to hear from some great people who have affected our organization and that we feel very fortunate to work with. But first, let's have a little fun. We believe with the right teachers who have the right training and skills, economics can be a wonderfully enjoyable and highly educational and a life-changing course for students to take. However, not all econ teachers have that special something that sets them apart.
Adams.
Here.
Adamley.
Here.
Adamowski. Adamson.
Here.
Adler.
Here.
Anderson. Anderson.
Here.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious.
Thank you, Simone.
No problem whatsoever.
Fry. Fry. In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the, anyone? The Great Depression, passed the, anyone? A tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which, anyone, raised or lowered? Raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue for the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the effects? It did not work, and the United States sank deeper into the Great Depression. Today, we have a similar debate over this. Anyone know what this is, class? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone seen this before? The Laffer curve. Anyone know what this says? It says that at this point on the revenue curve, you will get exactly the same amount of revenue as at this point. This is very controversial. Does anyone know what Vice President Bush called this in 1980? Anyone? Something DOO economics. Voodoo economics.
Hi, everybody. It's Ben Stein. I'm talking to you from Beverly Hills, California, where I've just gotten in from being in my swimming pool, which is a nice thing to do. You can't beat it, really. I have a very deep connection with Oklahoma. My wife's family is from Idabel, Oklahoma, which is in the southeast corner of Oklahoma. And it's a very charming area. And her family, the Warmacks, have been there forever, just absolutely forever. And I've been there many times and spoken there. And I love Oklahoma. I just love Oklahoma. I love the musical comedy Oklahoma. I love everything to do with Oklahoma. Learning about economic literacy, learning how to balance your checkbook, learning how to save, learning how to invest, learning how to get ahead in life by saving from an early age and investing and making sure that you are prepared when times turn bad, making sure that you are prepared when you get older, making sure that you are prepared if times turn rough the way they have for many of us during the current recession/inflation. We want to help you with all of those things. Save, invest, learn, build up financial literacy in that brain of yours. Your brains are young, mine is old, but it still gets me through the day. Learn. Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. It's really important that you guys get your mission done, not just stated, but done and accomplished. We want you to be happy and healthy in your latter years. Go for it. Don't back off. Learn, earn, and in your older years, burn that candle at both ends so you have a great rockin' time up to the very end. Thank you very much, and God bless you all in Oklahoma.
Thanks, Ben. Ben Stein played one of the most famously boring economics teachers in film history. Now, unlike Ben Stein's movie character, who was dull and uninteresting, we have the sincere pleasure of working with some of Oklahoma's best and most loved teachers. I am very excited to have Lacey Goodger join us today. This year, Lacey was presented with the 2021 Edmond Financial Literacy and Economic Educator of the Year Award. Lacey teaches AP Economics and History at Edmond North High School. 4 of Miss Goodger's students won the Adam Smith Division of the State Economics Challenge hosted by OCEE, and one of our students won the Outstanding Economics Student Award, a program we host with the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, Oklahoma City branch. Lacey is impacting the community in such a huge way, and we are so thankful for her service and dedication to Oklahoma students.
Hi, my name is Lacey Goodger, and I teach AP US History and AP Economics at Edmond North High School. I have been involved with the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education pretty much my entire career, and I've been teaching over 10 years. The first way that I became involved with them is by attending their professional development. So at that professional development, not only did I learn a lot, but I also got a lot of great resources. So one resource that I got from the council is this book right here called High School Economics, and it's an excellent book because it contains lots of simulations that I can do with my students. And that's really important because sometimes concepts in econ are abstract, something like money creation, and by doing a simulation, that will make it more concrete to my students so they can go back to that simulation when they're doing their problems on their test and have a better grasp of that material. I've also had my students compete in the Economics Challenge. We've won the state competition several times. We have competed in the semifinals of the national competition, I think is what they call it. We placed 10th last year in the national competition, so that was very exciting. And we have placed as high as 8th another year. So my students have done a great job, and I've been very proud of them. The Econ Challenge is also extremely helpful to me. It comes at the end of the year, and it's a fun way to get my kids to review before the AP test because they're reviewing in order to prepare for the competition, but then again, that also helps them review for the AP test. So I like to do that with them. So a couple of years ago, I became a master teacher of economics with the council, and as a master teacher, I was able to present at a workshop. So the Council on Economic Education has been extremely helpful and valuable to me as a teacher.
Thank you, Lacey. Lacey is truly making such a difference in our community. She is a prime example of the influence teachers can have on our students. One of our most popular student programs is the Meaningful Economics and Entrepreneurship Competition, better known as ME. We hold this competition in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Stillwater, and Ardmore, and virtually if needed. The ME competition allows students to acquire and apply knowledge in economics and entrepreneurship and personal finance. In addition to addressing the state standards in economics and social studies, the event encourages creative and critical problem solving and thinking, teamwork and collaboration, and communication skills. This event is so popular with students because they get to create their own product or service and build a mini business and marketing plan. This competition has been built around how kids learn in a hands-on way and is such a joy to see young students become interested in entrepreneurship. We are so grateful to have teachers around the state who get their students involved in the Me competition year after year. I am pleased to introduce you to Rebecca Palmatieri. Rebecca is the Gifted Resource Coordinator at Westwood Elementary in Stillwater. She has had students participate and win several times in our Stillwater Me competition over the last couple years. Thank you for joining us, Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Palmatieri from Westwood Elementary. I'm super excited to be involved with the MEE competition through the Oklahoma Economics Council. I first learned about the MEE competition through another teacher in my district. I didn't get a lot of information before I went. I just knew that it was going to be something fun for my kids to do, and they were going to learn about economics and some entrepreneurship, which is right up my alley within my GT classroom. So on the first field trip, that was 2 years ago, we went. It was so amazing. Our students got to work with professionals in the industry, and they got to have some real life experiences of having to solve some problems, to create a budget, to create a product, and then even that marketing side of it where they're creating commercials, talking about cost analysis, doesn't meet the topic, all of those great things. The second year, with it being virtual, was even better. At the time when we competed in the virtual MEE competition, all of my students were virtual, so we did them from home. I loved getting to watch my kids collaborate together. It was so amazing just to listen in on some of the conversations they were having as they were using some things that they had never heard of before. Like when we learned about financing things, about profits, about supply and demand, and how all of that is incorporated together. And how they can take a simple problem, create a product, and then use that product to create a marketing, advertising commercial that incorporates all of the high points of their product. My favorite part about the MEE competition is the way that my kids get to collaborate on their own and take risks. I love my kids getting to be very autonomous throughout the entire competition. There's not a lot of teacher direction, which allows them to use their own creativity and their own thought processes so that they create amazing products that, as an adult, I never would have thought of.
Thank you, Rebecca. And thank you again to those that are watching. It's because of your support that we are able to hold student events like the Meaningful Economics and Entrepreneurship Competition and bring this important education in student-focused ways to schools throughout Oklahoma. One of our newest programs is one that I am very excited to speak with you about. We brought the Invest in Girls program to Oklahoma in January of 2020 and have had such huge interest. The Invest in Girls program is unique and unlike anything we've been able to do in Oklahoma. The mission of Invest in Girls is to usher in the first generation of financially literate girls, increasing the number of women working in finance. What an awesome goal! Invest in Girls is a program for high school girls and focuses on topics like investing, budgeting, job interviewing, philanthropic giving, retirement, and taxes, just to name a few. The other division of the program focuses on financial industry exposure and opportunities for girls to meet professional women working in financial services and learn about different financial career paths. This program is so important. Did you know that only 16% of financial service executives are female? Further, only 12% of girls feel confident making personal financial decisions. We believe every girl should feel financially empowered and have opportunities to pursue careers within the financial industry. We recently completed an Invest in Girls program at John Marshall High School in Oklahoma City, and we are excited to share the impact of that program.
We were so excited to bring Invest in Girls to Oklahoma as a new program of the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education. We are looking for more schools and groups and other organizations to bring this program to.
I learned how to sit there and invest and, just the basic steps of investing, the basic steps that I'm gonna need in life, to budget, to sit there and calculate all of my at-home necessities, because at school they don't teach us that. They teach us the bare minimum for college. They don't really teach us for what happens after college. And I feel like it was a great experience to sit there and have, because what do we do after we get out of college? Our college professors teach us for what we're going into our profession. They don't teach us for outside life. Our parents can only teach us so much. So having a program like this to sit there and help us budget, help us do accounting skills, because we're gonna need that in life. We're gonna need it to file our taxes, just everything. I feel like it was a great opportunity to have this year.
This program, it opened my eyes to want to become an accountant for people and help them manage their money so they don't make irresponsible decisions with their money.
Yes, like I've always been good with numbers, and I've always wanted to take numbers to the next step. Like I want to open my own business that handles numbers and stuff, so this did help.
Not too many people succeed, and I want to be one of those people who succeed.
But what was fun to hear was the discussions the next day, or as they were leaving the room after class and talking about, oh, I've always wondered what that meant on my paycheck, and especially the younger ones that, had just started working. So it was fun to kind of watch that flow. You just kind of watch the ripple effect as they start having the conversations and what it really meant to them versus just hearing it from me, hearing it from someone else, and how it applied to them. So I thought it was amazing. One unique thing about the Invest in Girls program is that we bring mentors from the finance industry from all over our state so that girls can hear from people that are working in the industry and learn about their careers and how they got to be where they are. It's been really great to hear from teachers that the girls want to learn more and they're seeking more experience and knowledge in finances.
We are so happy to be joined by one of our board members today. Matt Colwell has served on our board of directors for many years, and he is also a STEM teacher at Curtis Inge Elementary School in Noble, Oklahoma. Matt has been an extremely valuable member of our organization as someone who serves our mission and also participates in our programs. Matt's perspective is always helpful to us, and we are so thankful for his service to our mission, as well as his students in Noble. Matt, thank you for being with us today.
I am excited to work with OCEE and our mission to promote personal financial literacy and economics education around the state of Oklahoma. I have seen lots of wonderful things that have come about from the programs that we have provided to teachers and students over the years. As a former administrator, I got to see many teachers and students benefit from this, and I have personally benefited from the programming of OCE as a teacher as well. There are some wonderful programs that we provide to students, like the Entrepreneur Challenge, the Me competition, as well as the Invest in Girls program that we started working with this last year. I have seen lots of benefits from the different curriculum documents and support that we provide to teachers. I'm excited about the upcoming partnership with SmartPath that's going to help really help provide some really good materials for elementary teachers, especially to work with their students on understanding economics and personal finance concepts. I really think this is a really important time for economics and personal finance education. We have stories all over the news all the time about inflation and about debt and about all of these things that our students, as well as us as adults, are having to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And the better we can prepare our students to navigate those challenges around finance and around dealing with money and savings and investing and all these things, the better we can prepare them now, the more prepared and the better they'll be off in the future. I, for one, grew up in a house, and I think, from having conversations with other people my age and even older and younger throughout this process of being a board member, one of the common themes is very few of us had really meaningful conversations about money in our homes growing up. And so most of what we learned was, either in college or through our jobs or just figuring it out or just learning from what we saw our parents do or other people that we saw how they handled money. And some of those were really good examples and some were not. And so one of the things that I hope for personally as an educator and I hope for as a board member is that we can provide a much better foundation for understanding personal finance and understanding how the economy works, just have a basic literacy of economic concepts so that, when those news stories come up or when we have, something like an economic downturn or a pandemic, that there is a little bit more understanding because there is so much fear and anxiety around money. And so many people in our world are fighting paycheck to paycheck just to be able to support their families and to be able to, make it to the next month and worrying about those things. And if we can provide just a little bit of security when it comes to understanding how to save and how to utilize those resources that we do have to the best of our ability, the hope is that we can begin to alleviate some of that anxiety that is naturally there around money, but that we can help people understand a little bit better those things that they're going to have to navigate as adults. And some of our students are having to navigate them younger and younger, having to support family members and even, younger siblings and even their parents. They're having to get jobs and starting to work on those things. And so as much as we can support our students in understanding economics and personal finance concepts, I think that is a really important mission. One of the other things that we do is support our teachers with resources. There are not a lot of economically trained teachers, K through 12 in Oklahoma. It's not one of those like, everybody goes to college to become an economics professor or anything like that. Most people, like I said before, just like adults, their understanding of money came from what they saw in their house or their own research, or maybe one or two classes that they took in college. And so it's important for us to provide resources to teachers as well to understand themselves how to explain things to their students and how to give their students the best guidance. And so teachers don't feel overwhelmed by that process. And so we provide training and professional development for them. And so I think that really helps them feel more comfortable with the subject and more willing to be able to teach that to their students. So we are, starting school this week. We are back to school time of year. Everybody's gearing up for having kids back. I know teachers are really excited about getting their rooms ready and having students come back to school. And this is one of the most important times for OCEE because we are having our back to school event. This is one of the most important times because this event is one of our biggest fundraisers. There is no way that we can provide the programs and the resources that we do without the fundraising that we get. And a lot of that fundraising comes through our back to school event. So I urge you, if you can donate, if you can give to this program, it is doing wonderful things across our state. And the more resources that we have available, the more impact we can have all across the state and all of the counties in our state. That's one of our goals, is to spread our outreach to the rural areas. So if you're a person in a rural area that would like to see some of these programs and like to see personal finance come to your local schools and come to the places that you call home, please consider donating. It is money well spent. We are very conscientious about where that money goes and having the impact on as many teachers and as many students as we can. So we really appreciate your time. And for those of you that have donated, thank you so much for supporting our mission. And we are excited to get back to school. And thank you so much for partnering with us in this journey. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt. We are so fortunate to have a unique partnership and relationship with the University of Central Oklahoma. Our partnership with UCO and the College of Business allows us resources to continue to promote economic education and financial literacy throughout Oklahoma. We are a part of the economics department, and UCO provides our nonprofit with office space, IT support, and technology use, as well as administrative support. Many of the professors that help with our mission are here watching today. Since we are here for a fundraiser, it is even more important to highlight this relationship because when you make a donation, the major majority goes straight to programming, as much of our overhead is taken care of by UCO. We get the opportunity to work with fantastic economic, business, marketing, and finance professors, and their support and expertise truly helps our organization thrive. Many of these professors help us conduct teacher trainings and lend their support and expertise to our programs. We are so thankful for the UCO College of Business for investing in us, our mission, and Oklahoma teachers and students. Now you get to hear from the person behind this event. I'd like to pass it off to Melissa Neal, the chair of the Back to School with Financial Literacy event. Melissa, take it away.
Thank you, Amy. Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Neal, and I've served on the Board of Directors for the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education since 2016, and this year it is my pleasure to serve as the chair for the Back to School Committee. I want to take an opportunity to thank all of our sponsors for this event. The support and partnerships that we have received from our community is essential to the success of not only this event, but in OCE's ability to fulfill its mission to improve economic education and financial literacy throughout the state of Oklahoma. The purpose of the Back to School Financial Literacy event is to highlight their mission, but to also help us raise funds so that they can continue their good work. Last year, thanks in part to the support we received through the Back to School event, we were able to impact so many Oklahoma students and teachers. In fact, in 2020, 529 teachers went through training and took resources back to their classrooms and impacted more than 36,000 students. 64% of the students who participate directly in our economics, financial literacy, and entrepreneurship programs come from low to moderate income households. As you've seen through this event, there is still a huge need for OCE to fulfill its mission. Together, we've done some pretty amazing work, but there's still so much to do. In an effort to help you remember how important financial literacy and economics education is, we decided to get a little creative. After all, who says you can't have fun with economics and finance?
What a beautiful day. I'm so happy to be out for this mother-daughter day. I've been putting off that talk, but I know she's old enough now and needs to know. She's growing up so fast and there are so many changes ahead for her. If she doesn't hear it from me, I know she'll learn things from her friends or the internet, and I want to ensure that she gets the right information. She has to have proper guidance if she's going to flourish in her future. All right, I've just got to talk to her about it. I'm her parent. It's my responsibility to teach and guide her. Hey Lily, can you come over here? I need to talk to you about something very important. Honey, there's some important things I need to discuss with you.
Sure, Mom, what is it?
Well, there are some things, some aspects of life that it's really important that you don't, I don't want you to get led down the wrong path, that someone else tell you things that aren't right. I just don't want it to be confusing for you.
What is it, Mom?
All right. Now let's talk about the importance of budgeting. Are you familiar with a debit or a credit? Do you know what a debit card is versus a credit card? You know what? I got you a notebook so you can take some notes. So there's a big difference between a need and a want. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and I opened up a checking account for you. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up your online banking and you're going to monitor your balances. And you're going to see when something clears your account Okay, so don't forget, you want to balance your budget. Okay, so when you make a deposit, the funds go into your account and they clear. They're not always available right away. It's important for you to understand you need to monitor your online banking to see when funds show up so you know that they're available before you spend them. Now with budgeting, we want to save. So a debit card is attached to your bank account, while a credit card is attached to a line of credit, so you're borrowing it, which means it costs you money. Hi everyone. I know this was a little silly, but we will do almost anything to remind you how important it is to talk to kids about money. Throughout the years that I've worked with the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education, I've been able to see firsthand the work that they do to give teachers and parents the resources and tools that they need to talk with their students about personal finance and economics. OCEE has accomplished some of the most creative work to get students interested in things like personal finance, economic growth, and entrepreneurship, as well as investing and much more. There is nothing more meaningful than empowering Oklahoma students, and OCEE is working to improve personal finance and economic education so that our students are informed and knowledgeable decision makers in their personal, professional, and civic lives. Your support is vital to ensuring that this important work continues. Please consider supporting the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education today.
There are a lot of important conversations to have with your kids. Let's not forget to talk to them about money. If you weren't aware, that was our board chair, Mandy Dollar. And as you can clearly see, Mandy is perfectly willing to go the extra mile to show you just how important OCE's mission really is. Thank you for your support today. Don't forget to check out our raffle. And now let's hear a little bit more from Mandy.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you for serving as the 2021 Back to School Chair. Melissa and her team worked diligently this year to transition our event from an in-person to virtual event, and we appreciate all the hard work that was put into this extraordinary event. It has been my honor to serve as the 2021 Oklahoma Council on Economic Education Board Chair. Although so many aspects have been different this year for students, teachers, and parents, our goal has remained the same: to help usher in the next generation of financially literate students and work to improve economic education in Oklahoma. This year, we are so pleased to be working alongside the Oklahoma Department of Education. This new partnership is a huge deal and has allowed us to reach and train more Oklahoma teachers than ever before. Because of our partnership with the State Department of Education, we have been able to write and update teacher curriculum to help implement the state standards of financial literacy. I truly believe this work that we are doing is making a difference in students' lives and has the power to strengthen their future families, empower them as community leaders, and give them the skills they need to build the lives they want. I would also like to reiterate my appreciation to the sponsors of this year's event. These sponsors, our partners, have invested in our mission of improving economic education and financial literacy in Oklahoma. This event would not be possible without their support. It's more important than ever to support the work we're doing here at OCEE. Now is one of the only times you can donate and possibly win a raffle prize. Be sure to check out the link in the description box for more details on the raffle and how to donate. 100% of the funds you donate will go directly to improving economic education and financial literacy in Oklahoma. Click the links below to make a donation and bid on raffle items. Thank you all for participating and watching our virtual Back to School event. We look forward to seeing you in person next year.
Thank you so much for all who joined today and all who shared their story about how they have been affected by the Oklahoma Council on Economic Education, how it's played a role in their lives. The council is doing an exceptional job meeting the needs of Oklahoma teachers, and I'm really reminded that schools are stretching their imagination and their energy to meet their students' needs. Our hope is that this upcoming school year will feel a little bit more normal for teachers and students as they're able to see more people face to face. Now, schools had been closed, and the situation has really affected education across the nation, including right here in Oklahoma, in ways that we never expected. As the council moves forward with their virtual programming for the fall school year, your support is needed and a very necessary part of successfully meeting the needs of schools, parents, and teachers, as well as the students, of course, throughout Oklahoma. I really believe that financial literacy and economic education will help improve our schools, Oklahoma communities, and our state as a whole. If you are able, please consider giving today. Thank you so much for joining us.